pickup lines, if you try pickup lines, you might be digging your grave. And some people do it and get away with it. And I will tell you why. You see, many guys, when they want to approach, ladies, because guys scientifically are likely to be more logical and ladies are likely to be more emotional, so they are likely to be fixated. Guys are likely to be fixated on the words and, what they say. But ladies are likely to be focused on, how comfortable you are, what vibe you are letting off. That's what matters. And that's why, for many people who have great relationships, it's not even as if they say the right things all the time. They're just comfortable, and the lady has come to be comfortable with them and to trust them. And that's why even some of the wrong things they say, they get away with it and all of that. Let me say this. I once read a scientific experiment, a behavioral experiment. I don't know if I said this in the first part or not, and in this experiment, I think there were 3 guys. They were shown the picture of a lady, and each of them was asked to say, in terms of percentage, how interested they are in the lady. So the first said 20%, the second said 50%, and the third said 100%. Now, when they gave the profiles, and all the guys, by the way, had similar profiles, they all looked good, great jobs, and all of that. And when they gave the profiles of the guys to the lady, in all the cases, in all the experiments, the lady was drawn towards the guy who was least interested. It's just funny. Now, this might not be the case all the time, but it's the case most of the time. Scientifically, it's proven that guys who are not, head over heels, just spark up a kind of curiosity, in the ladies, So, and that's something you might want to consider. So people who are just really sincere and they just try too hard, they end up jeopardizing their chances many times. You are sincere and you don't understand what is happening. And that's why sometimes you wonder why all the bad guys seem to be having no problem at all, dating who they want and all of that. And the good, sincere guys are asking ladies out. I mean, church girls and all of that, and no one is agreeing. And maybe because you're all over her, like, notice me, you're jumping like this, I'm a Christian, so it's Christian to be nice. It's Christian to be kind, But hey, it is also Christian to have your confidence in God. You shouldn't idolize anybody, and especially not the lady that you're trying to meet. And for this to work, I think you can call this a third point. You must have a healthy perspective to rejection. Let me tell you something. If you are too afraid to be rejected, maybe dating is not for you. And this is why a lot of people do a lot of silly things when the relationship, does not work. I don't want that to be you. All right. So, maybe you should have just little attachments. Don't tie it to your chest. Respect the lady. Know that she has a choice, and then you have choices too. You are not out of choices, for crying out loud, okay? And this comes to, brings me to some theological misconceptions, where people think the Bible expression, bone of my bone, implies that there is one specific person who has your missing rib somewhere in the world, who you must get married to, otherwise you're screwed. But take note of this. I don't even have to explain the nitty-gritties of the, theological expression. I'll just say this to you. Adam said, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. So we know that Eve was made from his bone, but not of his flesh. So when he said bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, he was not necessarily referring to the fact that she was made of his bone, as people seem, but to the fact that she was of his kind. Because earlier, God brought animals to Adam to see what he would call them. And the Bible categorically tells us that he gave names to all the animals, but none of them was helpmeet, for Adam. So that was talking about class consciousness in terms of kind. All right. So Please, for God's sake, in all the Bible, you don't see, that doctrine there where you're told that there is only one person. So when you're rejected, just say in your mind, just say, well, even beautiful ladies make bad choices. So I just move on. And that's true. I'm not saying that to shade anyone, but you see, I think that's going to bring me to my next point. You have to understand that just because a lady is beautiful doesn't mean she will make the right choice all the time. All right? Even beautiful ladies make wrong choices. So the next point will be this. Get to know her. Get to know her. Because she's beautiful doesn't make her the right person. Doesn't make her the right partner. All right? And so you must have enough self-worth to be particular about who you want to spend the rest of your life with. And so if she's the one doing the scrutinizing, she's the one asking all the questions on the date, and you know why she's asking the questions, to know if you are worth her time or not, then something is wrong. So on the dates, ask questions, to know if she really loves the Lord, if she really loves people, if she has a compelling dream in life. You should have enough self-worth personally to also throw questions out there. All right. So that's quite important. And then here's the flip side. She's more likely to be attracted to you when she sees you as a person with high values, who knows what he wants. So, feel free to say, you know what, I always imagined and prayed that I would end up with such and such a person, So this is the kind of woman I want. This is the kind of standard I want, and you say that respectfully, not in an obnoxious way, obviously, but in a respectful way. Yes, and when a lady sees a guy who knows what he wants, it just raises her level of respect and attraction. So on those dates, ask questions too. And the next one, you're not going to see it coming, but someone has to say it. Hey guys, be realistic. Be realistic, or to put it in the most respectful way possible. Cut your coat according to your size. And that's not, listen, and to this there are exceptions. But whether we like it or yes, we all are class conscious people. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful, sinful manner. When Adam said bone of bone, flesh of my flesh, he was saying, now you're talking. That's class consciousness. All right. So when I'm talking about cutting your coat according to your size, you need to ask yourself this. If this is the type of woman I want, what kind of man must I be? So don't just, if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. A woman cannot spend quality time improving herself, getting better at everything, having a compelling dream in life, and then she's going to end up with, you get what I'm saying? So take that challenge, improve yourself, dress better, talk better, get something decent doing. No one is even saying you have to be more successful than she is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to be filthy rich. I'm not saying you have to be a multi-billionaire. I'm just saying just have something going for you. Be confident, and that will definitely put you in a better position.